Thank you, and good evening. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Lake Worth Town Council this November 13th, 2018. We want to begin by having an invocation and pledge of allegiance, so I would ask you all to stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps. Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for the many blessings you've bestowed on our community. As we gather here in public service to our town and its citizens, we ask for your divine guidance and wisdom to help us govern effectively, to do what serves the greater good and best interest of our citizens, and to be good stewards and guardians of this beautiful place we call home. In your name, we humbly ask these things. Amen. 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 And we'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and please be seated. Okay, we'll begin our meeting this evening by taking up our agenda for adoption. And I understand Commissioner Weber has a couple of items he'd like to see addressed, and so why don't you go ahead and...
Okay. One is the item B under the consent agenda. Before we approve that budget amendment, there's something we need to discuss, so I'd suggest we move it to new business E.
Okay.
And also would like to add a new business F, which is an appointment of Parks and Rec Board regular member to replace Miss Diane Barrett, who resigned from the position due to moving.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Any other commissioners have any other changes?
Which one was made E, Stephen?
The budget amendment.
Item B under the consent.
B under, okay.
Yeah,
Seven,
it becomes
7B.
E. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I would entertain a motion for the adoption of the agenda as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Cameron makes the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, okay.
Everyone seconds. I'll take Commissioner Kilby second.
Okay.
And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, let's move on in the amended agenda then. The first item happens to be my item, which are the mayor's communications. And this evening I have the honor to represent the council and our community at large in several resolutions honoring some folks here in the community, and you'll see at the end here our veterans and their family members. So what I think is best, and I think if I speak up, I can come in front of the podium here. I'd like to do it out front. We've got several framed certificates, resolutions to present. So I'll go ahead and do that and ask your patience in being quiet so you can hear me. Let me begin sort of on a solemn note, I would say. This past September, our town suffered a very tragic loss. It's a tragic loss of a beloved member of our town staff. It's someone who has served this town for over 30 years and was our HR director and our deputy town clerk, and I'm speaking of Anita Haynes-Taylor. Anita served in many different roles over those 30 years in our town, and she truly helped to shape and to develop what had become her town family here, which is our staff and our elected officials. Anita's town family misses her very much, and we want to let her at-home family know just how much she was loved and how much she was appreciated as a member of our staff and as an extremely valuable member of this community. In her honor, the staff has collaborated on drafting this resolution, something that typically does not happen. So many members of the staff made contributions in writing this resolution together. They felt it was important for them to do it as a family. And it honors her I believe, for the amazing contributions that she has made throughout her tenure here. And I believe what you'll hear is an expression of love. It's the love of those who worked so closely with her for all those years. And I would ask them, her family and loved ones who are here, I understand, at least in the first row, if you would please stand and let those in the audience recognize you as her family. And I will go ahead and read this resolution, and when I'm finished, perhaps we can show our appreciation to Anita's family. The resolution reads, this is resolution number 181113. It's honoring the service and memory of Anita Haynes Taylor. Whereas on July 16, 1960, Anita Lou Haynes was born in Rutherford County, North Carolina. And whereas Anita Haynes Taylor was employed with the town of Lake Lure on September 24th of 1987, and she faithfully served the roles of several positions, most currently as Human Resources Director and Deputy Town Clerk. And whereas Anita Haynes Taylor was a valuable part of the town staff who planned our annual Christmas banquet, helped us with open enrollment, and set employees on track for retirement. And whereas Anita Haynes Taylor was an encouraging, supporting co-worker that made every new employee feel welcome and made them feel a part of our team. Her support and encouragement to all employees was admirable. Her guidance and knowledge was excellent beyond measure. Whereas Anita Haynes Taylor will help beautify the community as we plant 2 trees in her honor on town grounds. And whereas Anita Haynes Taylor passed away on Tuesday, September 18, 2018, she has left us deeply saddened. Anita Haynes Taylor will be missed but not forgotten. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lake Lure Town Council desires to honor the service and memory of Anita Haynes Taylor for her contributions to the town of Lake Lure, and hereby expresses their sympathy upon her passing and extend condolences to her husband and family. Adopted by unanimous vote of the Town Council on the 13th day of November 2018, signed by myself as mayor and by our town clerk, Michelle Jolly. Thank you so much for giving us Anita. The town, in addition to presenting this resolution to the family in honor of Anita, we have also created a memorial garden out front of Town Hall, where there will be a pink slab in her honor, and then there's a number of garden plants, I would say, which will be planted in the spring. I hope they'll come up. I'll leave these up here on the table for those that would like to see what the beautiful garden will look like. In addition, the Flowering Bridge has created a brick in memory of Anita, which will be placed on the pathway of the Flowering Bridge in her honor. So I'll also leave this up front, and this will be placed in the garden soon. So thank you very much for Anita and her service and for being her family. Over the years, Lake Lure, as many of you know that have been here, has been extremely blessed to attract many wonderful and exceptional folks to this community. Maybe it's the beauty of it, maybe it's the location, I don't know. Maybe it's the little people. But we've been very blessed with people who have come to this community and who have contributed and invested their time and their efforts to make this a better place for us all to live. And I think a couple that we're here to honor tonight, who unfortunately will be leaving the community to start a new chapter, in their lives in a different location would be, by definition, one of these exceptional folks. I've known this couple, I think, since I moved here 7 years ago. They've been great friends, and I know them to be an amazing, amazing resource here, both for the town and for the local community. Charitable organizations, civic organizations, you name it. And so for our loss, we are sad. They'll be leaving. But as their friends and neighbors and the benefactors of their many contributions, we wish them well and Godspeed. And so what I'd like to do now is to read a proclamation. Then I'll ask them to come forward and accept it, and accept your thanks for being great citizens and for being great contributors to our community. The proclamation reads as follows. Resolution number 181113A, honoring the dedicated service of Bruce and Diane Barrett. Whereas Bruce Barrett began serving on the Zoning and Planning Board for the town of Lake Lure on June 14th of 2011, and whereas Diane Barrett served as a Lake Lure Commissioner from December 13th, 2011 to December 31st, 2015, she served on the Parks and Recreation Board for the town of Lake Lure from December 31st of 2007 until December 13th, 2011, and presently serves on the Parks and Rec Board as of December 13, 2016, and as she has also served on several ad hoc committees and task forces, and worked with the original group that formulated the comprehensive plan for the town of Lake Lure in 2007. Diane currently serves on the Board of Directors for the Rutherford County TDA, the Hickory Nut Gorge Chamber of Commerce, the Keep Rutherford County Beautiful Committee, and she has served as a Secretary and Treasurer for the Rumbling Ball Homeowners Association for the past 5 years. She's also served as a Performance Coordinator for the Lake Lure Cloggers Group, a group I know very well, over the past 6 years, and she served on the Rutherford County GOP Committee. Whereas Bruce and Diane Barrett have served the Lake Lure community faithfully, serving on the Lake Lure Lions Club, and served as regular volunteers at numerous community activities and events, and whereas Bruce and Diane Barrett have been heavily involved and prominent active members of the Lake Lure Baptist Church, where Diane has been a singer on the praise team and chairwoman of the Hospitality and Kitchen Committee, and were previously prominent active members of the Fairfield Mountains Chapel, leading and serving for 10 years as the chapel's outreach mission to the Willow Ridge Nursing Home in Rutherfordton, and Diane was a member of that chapel choir. And whereas Bruce and Diane Barrett have served the town in a dedicated and conscientious manner and have decided to leave their respective positions on the Zoning and Planning Board and the Park and Recreation Board as they are moving out of town. Now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the Lake Lure Town Council and the citizens of Lake Lure, the Lake Lure Town Council thanks Bruce and Diane Barrett for their dedicated service to the town of Lake Lure and wishes them well in their future endeavors. Read, approved, and adopted this 13th day of November 2018, signed by myself as mayor and Michelle Jolly as town clerk. And so I would ask Bruce and Diane, please come forward.
Turn around for a picture and let the picture right in front. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been an honor to serve Lake Lure. It really has. I enjoyed the years I spent as commissioner and then in the various other programs, and I urge each of you to get involved. It's very rewarding. Sometimes it's a real pain in the you know what, but it is very rewarding. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Everybody on board.
Thank you.
As you have to. All right. Well, one last proclamation, and I'm done. Maybe for the end.
Last but not least.
As most of you know, we've just had the opportunity to celebrate Veterans Day, And although we're a day late, hopefully not $1 short, just happens to be the way our meeting falls. We as a town feel very strongly about honoring our veterans, and not only our veterans, but the men and women who are currently serving in our armed forces today. Their service to the country, we simply could not do without. And so before I get started to read the proclamation, I will ask those of you in the audience who are veterans or family of veterans or active duty service to please stand and be recognized.
Yeah.
You too? Thank you very much. So let me quickly read this resolution, which is resolution number 181113B. It's honoring veterans and men and women currently serving in the armed forces of the United States of America and their family members. Whereas the United States of America was founded on the principles of liberty, opportunity, and justice for all. Whereas throughout our country's history, generations of men and women have answered the call to leave their families, their jobs, and put their futures and even their lives on the line to defend our nation and our inalienable rights. Whereas America has called on men and women in uniform to protect our national security, to advance national interests and preserve our rights and freedoms. Whereas on Veterans Day, we recognize these men and women of our armed forces, past and present, who have valiantly defended these values throughout our nation's history. And whereas we owe a debt of gratitude to our veterans, and we wish to express our appreciations to all veterans for their selfless service in the United States, and to their family members for their personal sacrifices in support of our veterans. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lake Lure Town Council does hereby recognize all veterans and their families and the men and women that are currently served in armed forces around the world. Adopted by unanimous vote of the Town Council on the 13th day of November 2018. Again, signed by myself as mayor and Michelle Jolly as a clerk. So on that, I want to thank all the veterans, their families, and those in active service on behalf of the town and its citizens. Thank you very much. We'll display this resolution in our lobby so that those that come realize our town is grateful to you. So thank you all very much. Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I request the floor.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolutions number 18-11-13, honoring the memory and service of Anita Haynes Taylor, and resolution number 18-11-13A, thanking Bruce and Diane Barrett for their services to the town of Lake Lure, and resolution number 18-11-13B, honoring veterans and family members.
We have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cameron. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Okay, well, we move on in our agenda now into the town manager communications. Shannon, you have a number of items here.
Sure, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You can tell by what's in your packet from department heads and myself, it's been another very busy month. The first item we have on there that we want to give you an update on is our hydroelectric plant, the small generator, and David Airwood is going to talk about that, and also the geotube installation at the wastewater treatment plant. Mr. Airwood.
The work is still underway on the little generator. We're running through the same thing we have since I started in this process. Every step of the way, there seems to be hurdles to cross. In the last month, some of you are familiar after coming down there, some of the collars that go over the wicket gate, we had to have some more machine work done to size them up. That has been done. All of those will fit now. The original seals that we were going to put in to seal those wicket gates off were either too thick or too thin. Wouldn't work. But we went through numerous different seals, and we have found the correct seals. John is actually putting those in as we speak, and so we're still moving forward. But we still have a ways to go. But It's just one step at a time. Hopefully, we don't run into anything else, but every step of the way, there's been something, so I expect it. As far as the geotubes go, we actually have started making a little progress on that. That's been in the works for some time now. As you all know, we've spent a bunch of money hauling this stuff out in pump trucks. This past Friday, contractor came in that Keith Webb had set up, came in and removed all of the old sludge that has been there in those dumpsters at the plant for several years, I've been told. So all of that has been removed and sent to Blumpville, Tennessee, which is a landfill that has agreed to take it. So all of that's done. I have contacted Waste Management, which is the owner of the dumpsters, asked them to remove the dumpsters out of the way. While I was talking to them, he gave me some information of Republic Service out of Union, South Carolina, that says they can accept this sludge. So he is working right now. He sent me some paperwork which will have to be signed off on, all the tests of the results of what we just got rid of. If all of that looks good, it is very possible to haul that stuff to Union, South Carolina in the future rather than to Blumpville, Tennessee. I don't have firm numbers from Republic yet, but he is getting all that together for me. And if this works out, that could possibly be even more of a money savings for the town. But once those dumpsters are out of the way, either we're going to continue on through Republic, or we're going to go in there in-house and grade a pad and set up 2 tubes, and we may end up having to go the way we did. It depends on which way is most cost-effective. But that part is moving forward, and I think that'll move along pretty quick. So.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, sir. We have any questions? If not, I have to kind of interrupt the flow of the meeting for a second. I was supposed to take a brief recess at the end of those resolutions, and I forgot. At least I'm honest. And our good clerk was good enough to remind me quietly that I had forgot. So I was go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn just temporarily for 10 minutes. What we have is, and this is kind of a tradition when we do this, we have cake. We always have cake, and I see we have punch. I think we may have some coffee. So for those of you who would like to, there's cake and punch and refreshments, but more importantly, the reason we take the break is an opportunity, if you choose to, at least to say hello to Anita's family and to say goodbye and good luck to the Barretts. And so let's take a brief recess for 10 minutes, and we'll come back and get on with our meeting. Thank you.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Motion and second. And
I hope the punch is spiked, right? The punch is spiked.
It could be, yeah.
I wish it was.
I can't have it.